been doing?
We've just
bullshitting.
We're just gonna keep. Now that everybody can watch, we're just gonna we'll talk about Geek's fucking hat some more.
As we always do.
I know. Actually, hi. By the way, hi everybody watching. Welcome to my Patreon hangout. I'm here as usual with my some of my Patreon patrons. And hey, hi.
Is that DJ Dotify?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've just managed to get on for half an hour. I'm just actually de-scuzzing the bathtub.
Well, I'm glad you can multitask and you can join.
I'm seriously de-scuzzing the bathtub.
That's amazing. Oh. Oh man, I love this old house. I seriously grew up watching this old house. It's gonna be great.
Sounds like Steve and I were using the same TV.
Yeah. Oh man, this old house, New Yankee Workshop, the Woodwright Shop. I used to watch that shit every weekend. Mm-hmm. That's why
Did you ever wish you had enough money to do all those renovations?
Oh God, I know.
I wish I had the skill to do it. I'd love to learn, carpentry and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I wish I had the money to get somebody else to do the renovations.
Welcome to the club.
I don't know. I live in an apartment, so I had to pay rent. So it was like, and I don't have a choice of when the reservation happens. They just give me a 48 hours notice. It's like, okay, well, I just have to remember to keep my pets locked away or something like that.
You're getting a new bathroom on Wednesday. Be out of the house.
Okay. Will they put me up in an apartment or a hotel or somewhere? Anyway.
Yeah.
Hey, Steve, I noticed you're drinking out your Star Trek mug. I'm also drinking out the geeky related mug as well. This is the Mega Man Buster.
Oh, look. That's so cool. It's like his little wrist thingy.
Yes, exactly. And it's all to like 20 ounces or so. And so, yeah. I got it.
I think it's probably really funky inside. He's been wearing it for years.
The only thing is, if he's drinking a caffeine beverage, by the time he bottoms that thing out, we're never going to hear the end of it.
Yeah, really.
Going a mile a minute about anything that comes into his head.
I just want to say thank you for making a video game reference that I got. You reached back far enough that I remember that.
My mom was playing this. No, I honestly have memories of when we played the first one, the first Mega Man game. There was a section in Iceman stage where my youngest brother, the game gave younger brother, couldn't get past a certain level, a certain part of the level, and so he would hand the control off to our mom because she, at the time, was able to get past that one section of the Iceman stage. So we had fond memories of playing with our mother with Mega Man.
That's awesome. And whoever came up with making that into a cup is like a genius.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Gamer ingenuity is probably right alongside pothead ingenuity in terms of, and there's probably a lot of overlap, honestly, in terms of just sheer inventiveness.
Your mother sounds like my grandmother. My cousin once left his NES at my grandmother's one summer, and my grandmother just spent she only limited herself to 15 minutes of Zelda a day. And by the end of that summer, she had completed everything in that game.
No. Yes. We bought our mom Oblivion and Skyrim for her birthday or Mother's Day and stuff like that. No, our mom is the Skyrim grandma and stuff like that.
Now there's a handle for you, a granny gamer.
There you go.
Get her like 5,000 granny gamers use that.
Yeah. And by the way, we were talking about my hat, so yes. And one thing about my hat, it's multifaceted. It can turn into a rain hat, but its original state is, of course, the pirate hat. And I bought it just because I didn't have a pirate hat. But the multi-use of it is what also convinced me to buy it. Yeah. And for little honor, I must show off my leggings because I'm leggings made by Christy Winters. And here I have Pac-Man leggings.
And now my hangout is complete.
Yes, the leggings have been shown.
Yep.
I do like how that has that has just organically become a regular feature of our little show here.
It's an organic feature of anything he's on, as far as I can tell.
And I love. Here's what I don't. We're not going to spend the whole hour talking about some random Greek's various accoutrement, but I mean, I love that I didn't have a pirate hat. That was the reason that you got like you're like, I don't have a pirate hat.
I'm thinking all the hats I don't have. I'm thinking, Jesus, I'm going to spend all my money on that.
I don't have a football helmet. Like, it's never occurred to me.
Meanwhile, with all of this going on about pirate hats, not once has he said, "Arr."
Yeah.
Arr,
I'm not even drinking rum. I'm drinking like Irish whiskey instead.
Stereotypes are ugly things.
And no peg leg.
No, and no book either.
He only showed us the one leg. We don't know.
No, I saw both legs. He's not committing to the role.
Commit to the bit.
Commit to the bit. I wish we could just dispense with these close-minded prejudices and stereotypes about pirates, that they all have peg legs, that they all have parrots on their shoulders.
I work with a cane. Does it count?
Yes.
What's his name from the Seahawk? Errol Flynn's character. I'm trying to remember what is Captain
Captain Moore. Captain Roy Moore.
Captain Roy Moore.
Oh, for crying out loud! What was the guy's name?
Captain Roy Moore.
No, I do have a sword. It's in the corner. I showed it off before.
That's not a cutlass. Doesn't count.
True, true.
Boy, these are some pirate purists in here today. It's not a cutlass, sorry. The blade is too wide and too long.
I agree.
Got a peg leg.
Would an Oldsmobile cutlass count?
Oh, and the captain's name was Jeffrey
Cutlass. What are we going to call our new car? How about we name it after a tiny pirate sword? That's a good idea.
Better than calling it a woman, I guess, or naming it after a female name, but we already talked about that before, haven't we?
Yeah.
Well, we could call it an Alara or an Azera or an Aurora or any one of 100 other things that start with the letter A, too many of which have exactly no meaning.
Or a Mercedes.
Just give it numbers.
That was the name of Daimler's daughter, was it not?
Yes, it was.
Oh, okay.
The Mercedes Windy.
Just named the car after his kid.
Men are so weird. We are that kind.
Yes.
I'm just sitting here in stunned silence.
I know, right?
We've done it now.
And no reference to Kirk calling the ship she.
Yeah.
French men do that too. They give names to their cars.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I know women who do that too. So never mind.
I've never done that.
There's that stupid insurance commercial where you got this car. It's so great. You named it Brad. So you loved Brad, and then you told him.
People can name their cars after male names as well. Nothing wrong with that. We should do that to hurricanes as well.
That's true. And there are
start doing
now we got hurricanes as well as hurricanes. So
hurricanes. Oh.
But we do that for hurricanes. It's one female, one male, one female, one male.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they've been doing that now for over 20 years.
Just to keep it fair.
Mm-hmm.
That's where you spot misogyny. We only hear about the female ones. I'm joking. I'm just saying I'm joking because I don't want to be in the extremist brigade.
It's interesting you mentioned that because the second you did, I was reminded of Hurricane Andrew and what the number is it on Homewood, Florida.
Well, we think of Katrina, Rita, Wilma, and Sandy. But of course, I remember, what was it, last year or the year before, that Hurricane Matthew. My hurricane came through.
I still remember Hurricane Andrew.
Hey.
I was in school when that one happened.
That's what I just mentioned,
Yeah. Andrew was the big... I remember when I was in elementary school, it was Hurricane Hugo. which barely just grazed like my part of Maryland. Like we just got a little bit of a storm, but everybody freaked out because it was like a hurricane, because we never get any hurricane stuff around here ever.
Yeah. And we don't around here in Washington State either. We just don't get it. We just have earthquakes.
Well, so you get some natural disaster action. I mean,
we live near a volcano too.
Your country is weird.
Yeah. I was just going to say, the latest trend in Pennsylvania is March blizzards.
Yeah.
There's no hurricanes in mine.
That's probably why you have such an old and stable culture.
Or not.
You had time to chill out and just, you know, you have...
What? No.
They just have revolutions every
their government changes every once in a while, but you know, the French culture, like, you know, it goes back quite a ways.
With lovely people like Marie Le Pen and
well, nobody's perfect.
Remember, her party has fallen out with Cusco Gate. We remember that? Cusco. Never forget
Cusco Gate. Yeah. Well, this is the end of the Front National. They had a major schism over the couscous. So now it's called Rassemblement National. So someone should
they don't exist really, do they?
that the issue was not Front but National, actually.
Jeez.
I'm glad that we're hearing about the French politics instead of our own politics.
It's pretty fucked up actually these days.
That's comforting to we Americans.
Yeah,
we have
how fucked up other people's politics.
Not just us.
Student protesters were beaten to a pulp by neo-Nazis they were protesting in how do you call that? A classroom in the faculty at the university in Montpellier. Do you know that city?
No.
It's in the southwest of France, and it's pretty progressive actually. So it's pretty worrying that neo-Nazis are active there. But we still have guillotine somewhere. It's okay.
That's your answer for everything. I like your answer for all those things.
Get the guillotine.
That time will come. Speaking of Maryland, just a little aside, I saw yesterday that Chelsea Manning was running for Congress in Maryland.
Yeah.
And I watched her interview with ContraPoints. I was fangirling so hard. It was shameful.
I know. How cool is that ContraPoints knows Chelsea Manning? That's like, that blew my mind when I first saw that. I was like, oh my God.
I really disagree with either of them politically, but I love them so much.
Yeah.
It's not so hard to watch. Two conflicting emotions.
They're not far enough left for you?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, who is? I mean...
Yeah, Anarchist.
Some random geek is.
You can't really go. Yeah, some random geek is totally in my realm, I think.
I have gone phone comment, yes.
Yes.
And I don't mind that either, yes.
You lousy pinko.
I mean, I want capitalism to come to an end. I mean, can we give rid of rent, or it's like, can we give rid of private property rights? I mean, what's wrong with that?
Yeah,
maybe eat the rich just a little bit.
Food poisoning, please. No.
I thought of I forget what it was the other day. I often think of the Mitchell and Webb sketch where it's the government people and they're running the numbers.
I know the one you mean.
And the guy says, "Have you tried kill all the poor?" And, to get the economy to work. And they're like, "No, we've of course not." He's like, "Well, have you just put the numbers into the computer? Just see if it'll work." And they're like, "No, we're not going to even entertain the idea." And he's like, "Well, if are you afraid of what it'll say?" Like. It's hilarious.
I need a new series of that Mitchell and Webb look. I used to love that so much.
It's so funny.
Did someone make a modest proposal?
Are we the baddies? We've got skulls on our caps.
Yeah.
The other side, the things on their caps are all quite nice. Stars and stripes.
I got skulls on my cap.
Yeah, well, that's traditional.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's called the Jolly Roger, so even that. I mean, it's
well, no, the pirates were trying to be the bad guys. I mean, they were embracing.
Yeah.
Well, it's largely symbolic anymore. It's
yeah.
Almost none of them commit genocide.
When's the last time a pirate ever actually stripped somebody's skin off their skull? I mean, it's been a while.
No, we leave that to people like ISIS these days.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
There's other people that have taken that up now. We don't need to do that.
That's a radical waterboarding. That's what they call it now.
Radical waterboarding. You won't need this.
You
skin.
extremists.
And talking about torture already.
Ah, boy. I know. We're not even 20 minutes in and we're goofing on torture. Oh, man.
I'm amazed someone hasn't mentioned the state as in a primary elected a Nazi.
Oh, God, yes.
Oh, yeah.
The Republican, I guess it's the Republican, the congressional seat.
Republican candidate for the 3rd Congressional District of Illinois.
Illinois Nazis, man.
Well, the hell of it is, because it's an Illinois Nazi, somebody's going to grab that lovely clip from the Blues Brothers and you
just thinking about.
That's what I was
that's all anybody's
thinking about.
But see, I mean, if we need to create counter advertisement, if they can, and the hell of it is, they more likely will get the permission from whoever owns the Blues Brothers.
Oh yeah. Who's gonna hold up copyright to use it against a Nazi? Like, yeah, please use it.
And now that I tossed that grenade in, I'm going to get going. So catch you later, guys.
Bye, Matthew.
Bye.
I probably ought to get going too because I've got this event I've got to make it to, and I've got to get my chili casserole there.
Well, let us stand in your way.
Brag about your daughter on air. Or do you want to?
Brag along.
I just leave that alone if you would, please.
Okay,
sure. I mean,
no problem.
But I just wanted to throw
She's
that
going to a
out.
school for spies.
Hey,
John, are you listening, John? Are you listening very carefully, John? And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, take my advice. Hold down your pants and glide on the ice. Take care, guys.
See you, Laura.
I have leggings, not pants. So, hey, those watching at home, there are 2 spots open now in the Steve Shives Patreon Hangouts. If you're a patron of Steve Shives, go to his Patreon page.
For once, we are not too. Let's enjoy being not 20 in the Hangout.
Yeah,
I know. Oh, yesterday I finally finished Star Trek, the last one, Discovery.
Oh, okay,
because
yeah. Good one.
I was waiting to have everything because I don't like to wait, and I wasn't in a mood for not doing anything while watching a series, so I waited till I was. And what the
fuck? How did you like it?
I loved it.
What did you think?
I'm just everything. So it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Did everybody seen it? Spoilers.
I've seen it.
I haven't seen it, but spoil it for me. I don't care.
I'm just sad I won't have my Jason Isaacs in the show ever again. But other than that, I'm happy with it. And I so agree with you about Suru. He's so amazing.
Suru is great.
Yeah.
Suru is
Him
great.
and Tilly and Stamets are my favorite characters.
Yeah, they really came into their own by the end of the season. I was glad that, because at first they were sort of like background, they just got a couple of scenes, but by the end of the series they had enough to do that you really started to, care about them a little bit. I thought they were great, all of them.
So,
I really enjoyed the entire series.
Yeah. What was that, James?
I said I really enjoyed the entire series, but all like the kind of hardcore Trekkies are absolutely savaging it online. It's really hilarious to watch.
Every time they do that, every single time.
Every new series, there's a splintering.
They did something to the uniforms, and there was a woman, and she talked like a whore.
It's like, what are all these women doing talking on my Star Trek show? Answer the phone like Uhura and be happy that you're on the show.
It's like they're flying on at 10 times the speed of light, for Christ's sake. I mean, why do you lose your shit over the way it looks?
They're the true snowflakes that they always blame others to be.
Space
That's
flakes.
it.
My favorite complaint about the show from Trekkies, though, because like all the other complaints about like the diversity in the cast and blah 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 like that, they've complained about that stuff before, right? But there were a few who were complaining about the spore drive that the ship had and how unrealistic it was. Oh. And I thought, okay, what show have you been watching for 50 years where like it's realistic? Like, yeah, but the spore drive, come on, that's just ridiculous. Yeah, well, so is flying a ship through a wormhole like it's a tunnel. Like nobody has ever said that's how wormholes work. You can't just open it up and drive through it like a Holland tunnel.
It's a bypass. You gotta build bypasses.
I mean, Star Trek technology is all just made up. There's no such thing as a warp drive. There's no such thing as Deep Space Nine style wormholes. There's no such
dilithium crystals. That's
dilithium
just
crystals.
Atoms of lithium. That's not a thing.
It means nothing. It's just made up nonsense.
But you got to respect the canon. Oh Jesus Christ! How many times have I heard that?
You have to respect the made up stuff.
Didn't they say the exact same thing when the Next Generation came out?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. People hated the Next Generation until like the third season when it finally caught on.
And now it's the favorite of most people.
Well,
to be fair, it was crap until the third season.
In all fairness, the first
record
season of Next Generation was awful.
It was
Riker didn't have a beard. No beard, no good.
It's true. He had the show had to grow the beard for it to really come into it.
I don't know. You give me Patrick Stewart. I'm happy, to be honest.
True. I just want to say the picture
I saw
have
Patrick
in my
Stewart
wall.
live. Ooh. I saw Patrick Stewart live recently on stage with Ian McKellen doing a play.
I hate you.
That is awesome.
It was a crap play, if it's any consolation. It was blatantly just two. It was just two old lovies massaging their egos.
But that's what you come to see. You come to see Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart. It's Magneto and Professor Xavier.
Yeah. And the other guy who was in it was
friendship's goals. For real.
The other guy who was in it was Commander Thorne off the Wall on Game of Thrones was in it as well.
Wow.
You know, the one who says "bastard" to Jon Snow.
An all-star cast.
He was the other guy in it.
Alistair Thorne.
Yeah, I was like Alistair Thorne.
Ah, yes, I remember. I think.
Still have not seen a single episode of Game of Thrones yet, but I'm sure it's good, and I'm sure I'll enjoy it once I watch it.
It should be called Game of Boobs, to be honest.
I heard that too. I've heard that before. It's basically people explain to me it's D&D with boobs, and I'm like, I can see the appeal of that. Yes,
I love it, but for real, so much unnecessary nudity. Why?
Yeah.
Well, you could call it legitimately Game of Dicks because there are some shown, and most of the people are.
Yeah, but
even the women.
You don't see some, and you see a lot of boobs.
Yeah. It's not porn; it's HBO.
You see at least one.
One does not equal equality. Was not.
Well, you see one dick. Come on.
But here's a dick with a hat. You've seen them all.
Yeah. They're pretty interchangeable. I mean.
So has anyone seen the new Pacific Rim Uprising movie?
I have not.
No, but I want to.
I did get a chance to see it in last Thursday, and I did a review of it and put it up onto my channel. For the most part, I liked it. So it's like I recommend it to people who are fans of the first one, or fans of giant robot shows, giant robot movies, giant robot animes, giant monster movies, or
and John Boyega.
And John Boyega, yes.
Just fast forward through the bits without the robots.
There's not that many bits without the robots, unfortunately.
So it's the Godzilla movie rule. Just fast forward till you see Godzilla. All right, now we're talking.
And I don't think that would apply to 1998 Godzilla movie though. By Roland Emmerich.
Just fast forward through the whole thing.
Yes.
Fast forward till you see credits. There we're good. I can read the names of some talented people who shouldn't have been in this movie.
Yeah, Renee
nice.
Reno was in that one. It's like
Yeah.
it was wasted in that movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Matthew Broderick.
Yeah. I like Matthew Broderick.
I
though
don't even know in what he played.
I'm not like a
What's
huge
his
fan of
face?
Ferris Bueller, but overall.
Ferris Bueller. That's pretty much it.
Oh, that's him. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like him. I liked him in Glory too, even though Glory is basically liberal white people guilt porn. You know?
Yeah, we see that in school. The censored version that was shown on TV every single time that we talk about
the one without the black people, or
the one without the guy's head exploding like a cantaloupe when the cannonball hits him.
Yeah, I probably should see the uncensored version because I do like the director's work because I did see Blood Diamonds. I like that movie. I do like Last Samurai, even though Tom Cruise should not be the Last Samurai.
Yes.
Tom Cruise should not be.
An actor.
Tom Cruise should not be.
Yeah.
Yeah. Period. I mean,
Let's have no death threats against Tom Cruise, please.
why is Tom Cruise?
It's not a death threat. She's going to go back in time and make sure he never existed.
Yes, non-existence. It's like murder.
It's prevention.
Erasing him from history, sort of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like an abortion. It's not a murder. Why isn't it allowed?
The Terminator just murdered Sarah Connor. He didn't murder John Connor. Try him for Sarah Connor's murder, not John Connor.
Exactly.
That's how it works.
That's how it works. John Connor didn't exist yet.
You know what's sad?
What?
The last movie I ever saw in the theater was the second new Star Trek movie, the one about Khan.
Oh yeah, Into Darkness.
Yeah, I haven't been to a movie theater since then.
Wow, you hated the movie so much you just swore off movies.
I loved it. I love Star Trek so much, but it's just like every time a movie comes out, like, oh, this is the time I don't have cash. Great.
Oh, yeah. It's hard for me to get to movies too, though. I understand, like either you know, the expense or just not having time to go. Like there's been tons of movies.
Yeah, me too. Each time I want to go to the movies, it's the time where I'm disabled.
Yeah.
You don't have time to do anything, Steve, because you're so busy reading shite apologetics, surely.
Well, this is the last year for that, buddy.
I've seen 4 movies in the last year, and 2 of them were Black Panther.
The same one.
I thought Black Panther pretty good.
No, 5.
Don't you dare spoil Black Panther, by the way.
Wait, is this the first Hangout since Black Panther?
I think
No. There was the February Hangout since Black Panther.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, but yeah. Well, spoiler alert: it's really good for anybody who hasn't seen it.
It's really good. The scene between Black Panther and Killmonger.
Yeah.
So bad. Like
it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I actually got more emotional the second time around when I watched it.
Well, yeah, because you know what's coming, and then you can watch for other stuff. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I was noticing some other stuff, like the very beginning. I'm not going to spoil who is talking, but the very beginning, you actually kind of.
If you do, I'll kill you.
But who is actually talking, given the narration in the very beginning, is actually quite telling when you figure it out later on.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah. Yeah, and now it's officially the top grossing Marvel film, at least domestically. It's
well deserved.
Oh yeah, well deserved. Yeah, made more money than Avengers.
Maybe I will go and watch it. I wasn't going to bother, but
it's like this Black Panther is so good. It makes me want to go back and watch other movies that the actress have been in. I need to see more of Angela Bassett. I need to see more of like Forrest Whitaker, just because he's Forrest Whitaker. I need to see more of Andy Serkis, because Andy Serkis had a great time in that movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen Forrest Whitaker in The Last King of Scotland?
I have not.
There were no black people in Scotland ever. No.
It will really blow your mind. The performance in The Last King of Scotland.
Yeah,
he just becomes Idi Amin. It's really quite frightening.
Yeah, didn't he win the Oscar for that?
I think so. Yeah,
he might have.
I think so. Best supporting actor, I think.
Yeah. He was.
You need to watch the Jarmusch film with it too. With him. What was the name of that movie?
Oh yeah, was it?
Where is the samurai?
Yeah, Ghost Dog.
Ghost Dog.
Ghost Dog.
That's a good movie too. Yeah.
Yeah. It's a Jim Jarmusch, so it's an acquired taste. Okay.
No,
It's
I've seen
very
Ghost Dog.
slow, very.
Yeah.
No, I've seen Ghost Dog. I love Ghost Dog. It's kind of interesting how it's like whenever the mobsters were watching cartoons and stuff like that. Weirdly enough, what happens in the cartoon also happens in the next scene.
Almost as if it was planned that way.
Yes.
Yeah, Ghost Dog was one of those movies where when I saw the trailer for it, I was like, "What the hell is that?" And then I saw it. I was like, "That's really good." You know?
You know what? I can't find my copy of The Last King of Scotland. That's annoying.
That's why I keep my movies in alphabetical order.
Yeah, me too.
That's really irritating. Oh, and you know what? I can't find The Last King of Scotland, but I found The Last Bloody Samurai.
Yes.
I would make fun of you for owning that, but I have some shit on my shelves too.
Oh, how embarrassing is that?
I have You Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Oh.
I have a lot of anime, so I have a lot of anime, so I have a lot of crap. And most of my stuff is still in boxes too.
Oh yeah, I have some embarrassing DVDs.
Yeah, but you take it out of the box, it loses all its value, right?
Seriously, I still have some anime that's still in shrink wrap because I haven't gotten around to watching it.
I have French comedy. You can't beat that on cringe.
Gerard Depardieu.
Hey, Gerard Depardieu is a sex symbol.
Gerard Depardieu is an old alcoholic.
Yes, so is Chris Christopherson. So what?
Like I said.
And he's also racist, misogynist, and probably a rapist. So
that's not sexy.
I withdraw my shame. Don't kink shame. Some people get off on that.
I withdraw my statement.
No,
you've convinced me.
Yeah, no, French comedians and put a lot of quotes around that aren't sexy.
Quotes around comedians or quotes around French?
Comedians around both.
They're not funny, so we shouldn't claim them as French. I agree.
Well, I mean, French comedy fans embrace Jerry Lewis, so there must be something going on there.
Something
Germans embrace David Hasselhoff. You know, there's always something for someone.
Good people, but they go to America. So.
Oh, okay. They become too good for friends.
I don't question why the Germans embrace David Hasselhoff. I mean, who wouldn't want to embrace David Hasselhoff?
It's Hasselhoff.
Jesus Christ.
The look on your face.
I'm just saying, Knight Rider buys a lot for me. That's all. I can forgive an awful lot for Knight Rider.
I just had to re-swallow some sick then, Steve. It was horrible.
I'm sorry.
I was thinking he was telling us something about himself that I hadn't known.
You join our Hangout, you support my channel, and this is how I repay you.
Okay. This happened like 10 years ago. I remember a story. There was a rumor for a while that Ice-T was going to sign David Hasselhoff to his record. How that came about is that like Ice-T was doing an interview for Hip Hop Magazine, and pretty much Ice-T said, "Man, I would sign anyone to my record. You just have to pay me enough money, and I'll sign anyone to my record." And the interviewer was like, "So would you sign David Hasselhoff to your record? Pay me $5 million, and I will sign David Hasselhoff to my label. No problem. We can turn to a rapper. No problem. Pay me enough, I'll do it. I was in Tank Girl. I was paid $1 million being Tank Girl, and I didn't mind." So then
Hasselhoff starts a fundraiser.
No. So he told that story on Late Night with Conan O'Brien. Conan O'Brien decided to play a clip from a David Hasselhoff music video, which was a love song. But in the music video, all David Hasselhoff was doing is black and white too. He was just changing a tire. And during that clip, Ice-T was like, "It's a fucking tire. It's a tire. Why are you singing a love song to a tire?" At the end of the clip, Ice-T said, okay, $10 million. $10 million, I'll sign David Hasselhoff to my record.
Oh my god. So apparently his business model for his record company is not the best.
He gets his money. So
he gets his money.
You have to pay me to sign these artists. Well, I guess it works good for him.
Hey,
No.
Leto, can I ask you a quick question about France?
Yes, you can.
Are we, like, at Britain, right? Are we kind of just seen as a complete embarrassment and a joke after Brexit? Is it like, stupid British people, what were you thinking? And why Boris Johnson?
I think people who are on the left are. Why are you so stupid? But we know why. We know what happened.
Marine Le Pen. Yeah, you don't get much to say.
But people who are far right and right, but mostly far right, they think Brexit is a good thing. Marine Le Pen want to put a Frexit in her program, so I'm pretty sure that's why she wasn't elected too.
Well, I'll let you into a secret. It's been they haven't got a bloody clue what they're doing. They're just making it up as they go along.
That's obvious.
Yeah, I know. I have a lot of friends in the UK, so
yeah. It's
quite funny, the impression
really.
we get over here too. Whenever something comes up about Brexit, it's always like, "Oh, they're still trying to figure out how to even do it."
No plan at all.
They're just realizing they don't know who they are going to sell their agriculture products because they had a deal with European countries and now they are out of the deal. So what are they going to do with the surplus? They don't know, and it's pretty crappy because it's the farmers who will pay the price, and farmers aren't rich people in Europe.
Yeah. It seems like it was all gone about backwards. I mean, if you wanted to, if the Leave people wanted to, exit the EU, they should have come up with a plan for how to do it first.
Well,
so
they did, but they made it up. They did. They did. They thought they made it up completely. Yeah. They said it was going to be all amazing, and funny enough, we couldn't get any of that shit that they said we were going to have.
A shitload of experts. What's the word? When you give a testimony, testified about how an economic shit show it's going to be, and every people not every people, but every Brexiter was like, experts, meh.
What do they know?
There was actually a minister, a guy called Michael Gove, one of our ministers in the House of Commons, actually said, people have had enough of experts. We don't believe experts, don't trust experts anymore. And he's still a politician.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, wasn't he in the running for PM about the time Boris Johnson was angling for it?
Yeah, he did. He was, but he didn't have a prayer, really. He was clearly a joke.
Yeah, I think the Brexit movement kind of gotten worse after the snap election too, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. This is what I was saying to Steve the other day on the Patreon thing.
Yeah.
The Remain, and it was similar to what Hillary did. The Remain campaign basically insulted the electorate, which is Hillary. And that's what. And if you insult people, they're going to vote for you.
Yeah.
You can't insult people into voting for you. It's a stupid idea.
Morons! Look, morons! Vote for me! Come on!
Don't vote for Leave, you dipshits! You fucking bunch of nothing fuck ups! What
Yeah, that's basically what they were saying.
Yeah. It's not the best strategy.
No, Hillary was doing the same, wasn't she?
I think we're the one to bring it up, though. Why is Boris Johnson though?
Explain Boris Johnson,
please. Why?
He's just an arse. He's a joke even in this country. It's like I don't know.
Yeah, he's the one who has the hair of a 3-year-old. Yeah.
What's his name? The pig fucker.
Dave Cameron.
About that. No, he did not actually fuck a pig, but he did put his genitals into the mouth of a pig.
It was kind of like bestial necrophilia is a new low for British politics, isn't it?
if we heard about like that's his like initiation to secret society, I'm sure George W. Bush has done some crazy stuff for the secret society that he was a part of, and we haven't heard about them yet.
What did he?
But he did it with a
get into
steer.
Skull and Bones?
He was Skull and Bones.
I don't know.
I don't know.
If you can't hear me, let me know.
Well, now we can
All
hear
right, we
you.
can hear you,
Things
Manish.
that you mentioned was that people are insulting the intelligence of the electorate on the Remain side.
Mm-hmm.
But like, just a counterpoint to that would be that the #1 search term in the UK right after the referendum was "What is the EU?" So
Yeah, true, very true.
I think it's quite
That's true.
to insult the intelligence of the British public because they are pretty stupid.
They're uninformed.
I agree.
But you don't tell them that.
Yeah, I
So
agree. A
don't
better strategy would have been to educate them.
Yeah.
No, just treat them like dogs. Oh, you're so good. You're so good.
Well, that kind of reminds me of some of the things that go on in America with the UN. They're like, "Oh, the UN is violating our sovereignty." I'm like, "No, they're non-binding resolutions."
Yeah, they have no. They can't violate our sovereignty.
We have veto
It's funny,
power.
when we have our politicians complain about somebody else infringing on our sovereignty.
Yeah.
They talk about the UN Army troops coming in and taking over America.
Yeah.
Who the fuck are these troops? They're mostly American. And our allies.
Super soldiers.
George Soros would find an army. He would fund an army.
Well,
Antifa super soldiers.
the thing about those non-binding resolutions is I mentioned this on one of my videos a couple months ago. Like the U.S. voted against a non-binding resolution that basically amounts to Nazis are bad.
Yeah,
and we should, and do please take measures to stop Nazis from getting popular again. But it's all just suggestions. It's just like a non-binding resolution. And
hold on, let me provide the correct response to that.
You're not taking away our
people outside the U.S. So I'm from Canada, and I think we take a lot of pleasure in sort of pointing at America on the world stage and saying, "Oh, look, we're better than America." But I think it's such a easy.
That's a low bar.
Oh yeah.
Because we're better than America in terms of not voting against a resolution against Nazis, but even if we didn't vote against it, doesn't mean we're actively doing anything in support of reducing the advent of fascism in the world. So I don't know. It's sort of an empty victory lap on our part.
Yeah, America.
You have Lauren Southern.
I don't know. We didn't elect Trump, so
yeah, America is so shitty that it's making it difficult for the rest of the world to do what it needs to do to fight fascism, because they're like, well, at least we're not that bad.
Yeah,
we can just relax for a few years.
But Canada gave us Bryan Adams. We need to talk, Canada.
I don't want to talk about that anymore. Okay.
Okay. We established if Ryan Reynolds is Canada's forgiveness for Bryan Adams and Justin Bieber and Celine Dion. You gave us Ryan Reynolds.
Yeah.
Shut up about Bryan Adams.
No. The Canadian government has apologized for Bryan Adams several times.
So yeah. Look, the Robin Hood song was okay, all right? It was schmaltzy, but there was nothing wrong with that.
What, you didn't like Summer of '69?
Summer of '69, come on.
No, but it was last time in Christie's Hangout. I learned that they were sitting on Bryan Adams, and I was like, oh, but I like Bryan Adams. And someone says, well, he was a pedophile. So I was like, oh, okay.
Was he? Is he?
And then they were sitting on Bon Jovi, and I was, for fuck's sake, I like Bon Jovi.
I like Bon Jovi too. We were comparing Bryan Adams to Bon Jovi.
Pedophile, so it's okay.
Keep your mouth off Bon Jovi, god damn it. Yeah.
Can we just make a new rule that people I like in entertainment are not allowed to be assholes?
Yeah, I know.
Yes,
not you. Oh, God.
That's what we have to learn in the 2018-2017 world, is that your heroes are just as human as everyone else, and they might be monsters.
Okay, shut up with the communism. What the fuck?
Yeah. Hey, don't read Marx and leave us alone, okay?
I haven't read Marx yet. I need to...
From each according to his ability, to each according to his need. Right now, you need to shut up.
Marx is overrated. You should read the bread book, Jonathan.
Oh yes, I'm listening to the Conquest of Bread by Peter Kropotkin. I'm listening to the audiobook. Yes.
You have the audiobook. I want it.
You have the audiobook.
It's on.
That's no. For
It's
real,
on.
though,
It's on YouTube. It's on YouTube.
You aren't a dirty commie. That book is fucking amazing. Really, Kropotkin was a prince who abandoned all his privileges to take care of other people in Russia, and he was pretty persecuted for that actually. So he took asylum in France, and he was really amazing.
Okay.
Everyone needs to read that book.
Can't believe the mirror version of Bin Laden.
Box has audiobooks available on YouTube, so there's no excuse. You can easily listen to Peter Kropotkin.
Oh yeah, it's free. It's a free book, by the way. So
yes.
Cool. Can you do us a favor and pop a link to where we can get it from on Steve's Patreon so I can get it?
I put it in the live chat. Yeah,
put it in the chat or something. Yeah.
Cool. Hey, anyway, I gotta go. Otherwise, my missus is gonna wear my bollocks for earrings. So
well, okay then. All right, thanks for stopping in, man. It's good to see you.
Ta-da, mate.
All right.
Bye.
So we had our commie talk. We had our Brian Adams talk.
Can't believe I'm letting you two just spread this commie pinko propaganda on my channel. Although Dan Errol, I'm sure, would be thrilled if he was watching.
Yeah,
you are extremists after all.
He would be thrilled.
Dan is more of a tanky, I think.
Yeah.
Not
the
bad kind, though. I shouldn't call him that because tankies are just fucking awful. They have a Stalin boner, and it's ew, it's gross. And I don't think Dan is.
Well,
like
I don't
that.
know. Young Stalin was pretty fucking hot. I mean, have you seen that?
Yeah, but
I know he did some terrible things, but come on, he was a good-looking dude.
That beard, that scarf, ooh, that hair.
Yeah, young Stalin was pretty. But looks are interesting.
He had so much starvation to cause in his future.
We can move on to talking about everyone's favorite prime minister, except for actual Canadians' favorite prime minister.
Oh, Mr. Trudeau. Yeah, we love him down. We love him down here.
I hate
because
him.
we don't get the bad news down here. We just get the bit where he talks about quantum computers or
exactly. We just get the photo ops and isn't he sweet?
I just popped over a line from Polonius from Hamlet, and I love this. I think it sort of summarizes Trudeau perfectly. We're oft to blame, this too much proof, that with devotion's visage and pious action, we do sugar over the devil himself.
Yeah, it's pretty awful, actually. So.
To a T.
Wow.
No pun intended.
I have indigenous friends in Canada, and they have not very nice thing to say about Trudeau. So
just recently, we're apparently fighting climate change by approving new pipelines for crude oil to go to tankers in the
Indian burial grounds.
Yeah.
And how are those arms deal with Qatar?
Great. We sold them. So the previous government lied to Parliament, said that we were selling them unarmored, open top jeeps. Turns out we sold them tankers that can fire artillery shells. We also sold the same to the Saudis. The same vehicles Saudis have used in Yemen to flatten villages and kill villagers there with our weapons.
You make deals with Saudi Arabia? How are you no different than America?
Okay.
We're not.
We're
not.
a bad influence. We're a bad influence.
We sold $13 billion in arms to the Saudi government in the last year.
Yeah. Canada needs to stop hanging out with the United States so much.
Build that wall.
Yeah,
Canada needs to build a wall to keep us out because we're ruining Canada.
I'll contribute to that Kickstarter.
We can sell a few arms to extremists. It's not a big deal, right?
Well, aren't you guys like loosening some export controls in the next couple of weeks so that you can sell even more?
Yeah, allegedly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hey, it's okay though because we're going to put tariffs on imported steel.
And we're starting some other sort of trade war with China. What the fuck?
I mean, because trade wars are good.
Well, I think the real target of the steel tariffs is actually Canada because a vast majority of our steel exports go to the U.S. So I don't think it's China.
And why would we want to have good relations and a good trading relationship?
Honestly, China doesn't need a deal with the U.S. They're perfectly fine. They are buying all our castles in France. No, for real.
I can believe that.
They buy vineyards and castles, and they don't need to sell steel to the U.S. I think.
No, it's technology. I think is the big thing that trade war is going to focus on.
Yeah.
What was that great movie with that Australian guy from Gladiator who bought a castle in France and started to do his own vineyard and really sad.
Russell Crowe is the name of the Australian. I don't know any movie he was in where he went to France.
Yeah.
There's more than one Australian actor, John.
But how many Australians were in Gladiator, motherfucker? Damn.
I don't know,
Yeah, he was very specific. It's the one in Gladiator.
He did say Gladiator. Yeah,
I'm terrible.
Phoenix is from
terrible
Florida.
with like people and names.
I didn't. I mean, it's been a while since I saw Gladiator. Maybe Guy Pearce was in it. I didn't know.
Hugh Jackman. He had a single.
Hugh Jackman. Maybe he was in it. Maybe, yeah.
He was the dancing slave.
Maybe you just weren't entertained.
I was. I was not
exactly, and it won Best Picture.
I was just going to say I was not entertained when it won Best Picture over Crouching Tiger. That's
that
definitely
was
not entertained at that.
When I saw Gladiator, I was in my second year in for my degree of theater costumes, and I was losing my shit. The costumes in Gladiators are ridiculous. No, romance didn't have sleeves. It didn't exist. It didn't exist. Stop it. I was losing my shit in the theater.
Goddamn costume nerds ruining everything.
You know, there was. I mean, usually I don't care about that kind of thing, but it doesn't like ruin the movie for me.
Yeah, but it was my passion at the time. I was really into it. I wanted it to be my job.
But you know, in the movie, the big climactic battle in the movie Braveheart, the battle that it's supposed to be depicting, the real historical battle, a bridge figured very heavily in that battle.
In the middle of a field.
Yeah.
It's called the Battle of Stirling Bridge.
Yeah, it's called the Battle of Stirling Bridge. And the of course in the movie they're just on a field, like it's just, you know, they could be anywhere. And when I heard that, I thought, I mean, it doesn't really affect my enjoyment of the movie, but it just feels like a strange choice. It's like, why would you depict that battle and just leave the bridge out? It feels like a, you know.
Well, I mean, the entire thing is myth anyway, so just go nuts.
But it's like making a movie about the Battle of Gettysburg and you just leave out Pickett's charge. She's like, you know, we don't, you know.
That movie was so American. I really enjoyed it, to be fair, because I like violent stuff. But
that's a good movie.
So fucking funny.
Yeah. It made me laugh because sometimes during the battles you see blood splashing in the camera and stuff like that, and it was funny. And I don't know. I had never really been a fan of Mel Gibson's, but I don't know. I really enjoyed that movie, but for real.
I'm not a fan of Mel Gibson right now.
It's so shameful, for real. It's so American.
Nowadays, you get to watch that movie just for the end, where Mel Gibson gets eviscerated.
Yeah, you're like, oh yeah. No, I read this as a happy ending now.
I felt that way as I was watching Passion of the Christ.
I'm just about want to make a
picture his life trajectory ending up being where it is now? Like, did you ever think that this is where his life was going to go?
Oh,
well,
never.
now he's in what's his name? You know, Dad Bod 2 or whatever.
Oh yeah, Daddy Home 2.
Oh yeah, because he gets to still have a career for some reason, even though
That's Hollywood. Unfortunately,
everybody knows he's one of the worst people in the world. But come on,
him and Jim Caviezel want to do a sequel for The Passion of Christ.
Yeah,
I don't know how that works.
Well, 3 days later, he came back.
Just make a nice
built right in.
Just make a 2-hour-long movie, just like that day after 3 days after he came out there. But there's no bloods and guts and gold, so it can't be like Jesus Chainsaw Massacre 2.
Oh, I bet he's got. I haven't. I don't know if they even have a script for it yet. But the one article I read said that it might depict the harrowing of hell. So
now, what I want is for somebody to film Revelation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There'll be blood, believe me. If Mel Gibson makes another Jesus movie, there's going to be some gore in it. Don't.
Yeah,
I want to see the sword mouth Jesus is what I want to see.
He's not interested in the loving, forgiveness, blessed are the meek Jesus. He's interested in Jesus who's going to fuck some shit up.
I want to see this.
He wants Republican Jesus.
Yeah, Mel Gibson wants Republican Jesus. Exactly.
Okay, in the 90s.
There's this podcast called God Awful Movies that I've.
Oh yeah.
I love it. They do a lot of riffs on the apocalyptical kind of Christian movies.
Yeah.
Well, because that's what most Christian movies are.
That's where I got sword mouth Jesus. By the way, was the Gamma guys.
Yeah.
Eli.
Yeah.
I really wonder if there is something to the fact that there is a huge belief in the end of the world that
there is
to be particularly shitty compared to the other religions where people are like, oh no, this is sort of timeless and there's reincarnation and stuff like that.
Yeah, the fact that there's a built-in clock where Christians are sort of conditioned to be like, oh, is this the end? Is this the end?
And then they make those predictions for the end of the world. Never happens. I just use those predictions as a good excuse to have it's the end of the world party and just get drunk. But no, I seriously actually did watch Passion of the Christ because for a while my best friend became a born again Christian because of his religious aunt and uncles that he spent the time with. I had a phone conversation with his aunt and uncles as I was about atheist, and so they sent a copy of Passion of the Christ to me to try to convert me, and it's just and it didn't work at all because I fucking hated that movie.
You really have to be a member of that religion to think that that's a good movie.
Let's leave out all of the potentially compelling parts of Jesus's message and just focus on how fucked up they made him and how they nailed him to none of the love and peace and any salvation. They kicked his ass. They nailed him to a cross. It sucked. He suffered.
Here, get a blood boner.
I mean, honestly, I have to agree with Kevin Smith. The end all be all of Jesus movies is The Last Temptation of Christ, and so I wanted to watch that movie, and I did, and I loved that movie. And stuff like that.
It's a very good movie.
Last Temptation is great. I'll tell you what, also, there's an Italian movie called The Gospel According to St. Matthew that is really good too. That was made in the 60s.
That reminds me, I need to rewatch the comedy version of the Jesus movie, The Life of Brian.
Oh yeah, Life of Brian's great too.
Because those are the two
always look movies. At the right side.
Can you imagine if someone made a porn parody of a Passion of the Christ, but called it Passion of Jesus?
Oh, now you're talking.
Yeah, I'll see that movie.
I'd watch that.
You know what?
No, we don't want Mexican men in our porn. We want Latinos.
Yeah, exactly.
I think the correct term is now Latinx.
No, I'm very specifically gendering it. We don't want Latin men.
Yeah.
I mean, you'd think that there would be Latin male cuck porn out there, but I haven't found any.
You've been searching.
In the 90s in France, we had a group of comics who were but who had pretty good stuff, and they did parodies of Rambo movies with Jesus.
Oh boy.
Jesus 2, The Return. It's so funny.
I heard there was I think it was on In Living Color.
Are you going to love one another, for fuck's sake?
Jesus is back, and this time he means business.
Yeah, that was exactly that. It was really funny.
There was a sketch on, I can't remember if it was Saturday Night Live or In Living Color, but it was back in the early 90s, and it was a sequel to the New Testament, and where the Terminator went back in time
I think it was Mad TV.
Was it Mad TV? Okay, yeah, the
Yes.
Terminator went back in time to protect Jesus, and of course everything happens the way it happens, and Jesus ends up getting crucified anyway. And the last scene is the Terminator standing there among the disciples, and Mary Magdalene is crying, and Terminator looks at Mary Magdalene and says, "Don't worry, he'll be back."
Oh, jeez.
I actually did like that sketch. He was because Terminator was constantly killing Joseph.
Yeah.
Wait, Pontius Pilate is over there. What? Come on, give me the gun. Give me the gun.
I mean,
That sounds very funny.
What Bible story couldn't be improved by adding the Terminator? There's very few that I can think of.
Or have Arnold Schwarzenegger read passages of the Bible.
Yeah.
And I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, and I fear no evil.
Your breasts are like clusters of grapes. No, I mean, no.
I wonder if there's like an equivalent to the Bible that you can do that I used to do to the little things that you get out of fortune cookies.
Oh yeah.
And I don't know if in bed works well, but like there needs to be like I'll fear no evil in bed.
Or in my pants. It's either in bed or in my pants.
And he separated the light from the dark.
In my pants.
In my pants. You crummy perverts, you.
I've been playing the porn game all last week. I'm sorry, and I'm the one on Christy Winter's Patreon Hangout that informed Christy Winters of tentacle porn and the existence of live action tentacle porn as well.
Good for all. It's good that professional social scientist Dr. Christy Winters.
Well, she's living in Germany. She needs to know about the nasty porn.
That's true. She needs to be ready because it will be in front of her eyes at some point, inevitably.
Well, tentacle porn is technically Japanese.
Yeah. Germans have the Shives porn.
I bet it's made its way to Germany. I'm
sure.
They have the internet there too. Yes,
they have the internet in Germany. Well, actually, but they screen out the anti-Semitic stuff, so they have about half the internet in Germany.
Mm-hmm. Here too, it's illegal. It's not as strict than in Germany, but we have very strict laws about Holocaust denial.
Yeah,
mostly.
So hopefully they don't do the terrible thing and just block certain YouTube videos, 3 Arrows videos of where they're talking about how Holocaust revisionism is terrible and stuff like that.
I can't, for example, I can't watch the videos of what's his name, 66666.
Oh, 6X and Hammer.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, an asshole with a 666 at the end of his
He's an asshole.
name. And apparently he's been blocked in my country because of the Holocaust denial stuff.
Yeah. I wish he would be blocked in my country too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish he would. Yeah,
it's just take the technology that you use to block videos in countries where it's illegal and just put it on the whole website.
I think
some of Contra's videos have been false flagged too.
It's not a perfect. It's not a perfect system.
I think even Rebecca Watson's videos, sort of taking down a lot of these conspiracy theories, have been blocked this time by Google. But so clearly their algorithms are not the most.
Well, they need. The problem is they need to have people.
Right.
Check. The algorithm will probably work like it's supposed to 95% of the time. But for instances where it's an educational video or a video that's criticizing stuff like that.
Yeah, but hiring people would cost money, and capitalism doesn't let them do that.
Well,
yes, seriously.
Yay, we contaminated John.
The conquest of bread. I did post a link in the Patreon page. A comment on this.
Read the bread book.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
my cousin who worked for Google actually in content moderation for YouTube for 1 year during her engineering school, just to pay for school and stuff. And this was in India, and she's like, "Well, that was basically the worst experience of my life."
Oh,
so imagine the turnover rate is terribly high.
Yeah, she said that if you there's basically 90% of the company doesn't last for longer than a year.
Yeah, I can imagine.
You get to watch horrible stuff and moderate it on a piecemeal basis, and so It's a really terrible system.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the problem with YouTube as well. There's just like there's 400 hours of content posted each second or something like that, or each minute, and so there's just a lot to go through. So I can understand for having an algorithm to just catch things that algorithm can do, but once if someone wants to appeal, that's where I believe you got to get humans in. You got to get like a human involved to say, I can agree with that. It's like, oh, I can agree with that. But then again, YouTube also doesn't like whenever someone receives a strike, YouTube doesn't tell you exactly at this time stamp, this is what was said or this is what was shown that we found violates our terms of services of hate speech or community guidelines and stuff like that. But they don't do that either.
Yeah, YouTube has had a problem with that in a bunch of different areas since the beginning. There's very little transparency. Like if you get a strike, they don't always tell you exactly what you did wrong. They don't tell anybody how like ad revenue works, like what percentage you get, what percentage they keep. Like they're very sort of iffy about all of that. Like
And there's nothing requiring them to do that either because they owned it and we accept without reading the terms of services, and that is literally a contract. And so
they do what they have to do, and what they have to do, as it turns out, is very little.
Save money that way.
Yeah, but it's because the customers are satisfied with it. It's our responsibility too. I don't think voting with your money works. As individuals, but if enough people say I'm not going to use that platform anymore because it's shitty, they might lose some money over that. So
problem is the right-wing assholes love YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because it lets them do whatever they want.
Yeah, no one's stopping them. And Alex Jones got 2 strikes and then complains about that. It's a one more. He got to slip up somehow.
Oh boy, Alex Jones. That man.
I just got the reports right here. There are Antifa super soldiers that were part of the Parkland school shooting, something like that. So
Have you heard Peter Coffin do an impression of him?
Oh,
he's so fucking amazing.
His Alex Jones is great.
Yeah. Dick Coughlin is
doing a really good S&M parody of that. Continuing on with our porn theme.
There are gay frogs in our porns. I'm telling you right now, they're trying to make us into gay frogs.
No offense, Lito. No offense.
Yeah, come on. Let's leave the slurs out of it, please.
Oh, I understood that. I don't like frogs anyway, so
I don't like it. I just don't like the direction that this is taken.
Yeah. I'll stop stating Alex Jones.
Yeah, it wasn't me. It was Alex Jones. Goddamn frogs.
Don't worry, babe. I just don't give a shit, actually. So
we should not give a shit either until he starts Pizzagate again.
Oh God. They're
What
selling
a way to end the Hangout.
Yeah, they're selling these kids into slavery on the moon. Oh.
Is he still on TV or is it just on YouTube?
What's up?
Is he still on TV?
Oh, I don't know. I know he still has a radio show. I don't know if he's still on TV or not. Because InfoWars, it is a TV channel. Like you can get it on cable or
I haven't known the TV in like 15 years, so I don't know.
I don't watch TV either. The last time I watched live TV was maybe like a football game. Then before that was like Neil deGrasse Tyson's Cosmos. That was awesome. But now I just watch like stuff on YouTube, Netflix, Hulu, Crunchyroll, Funimation. That's where I get my anime.
Yeah, I got it. We got Sling for the Winter Olympics last month, but that was the first time we'd watched live TV in years. Like we're the same way, like just Hulu and Netflix and stuff like that.
Ooh, I know you like figure skating.
Yeah.
Did you see the French a bit?
Which one?
I don't.
That's right. Remember. There was some sort of sports show.
The one with the cover of Sound of Silence.
Oh yes.
The metal cover.
Yes. That was great.
Yeah. I was happy with it.
Yeah.
Usually we suck.
Yeah, that was fantastic. And there was another one. There was a woman who I think she was from Romania, and she did her short program to AC/DC. That was cool.
That's nice.
And then the other program, I think, was some classical piece. I think it was like Claire de Lune or something like that.
Yeah, she did like old school like figure skating stuff. You know, it was like it was Claire de Lune or something. That was.
Okay, I just found out from Wikipedia. Apparently, the Alex Jones Show, which is from Austin, Texas, does air on Genesis Communications Network. Oh wait, that's a radio station. Never mind. So I don't know if they're on TV. My mistake. I should read the rest of the Wikipedia article before I start saying something. I should be better than Sargon.
This is the internet. You don't need to be accurate.
Yeah, you don't need to be accurate. You just need to mean what you say.
I should be better than Sargon, babe. Everyone is better than Sargon. Yeah, no, not everyone, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, if you have ever admitted that you've made a mistake, you have already cleared that bar.
Yeah,
I have made mistakes before. I have changed my opinions. I've changed my opinion in the past 3 years. I'm now a commie.
If you have ever felt guilty about anything you've done, you are better than Sargon.
Have you ever complimented Hitler? No? You're better than Sargon.
Yes.
Have you guys seen the new bits on like the alt-right people who are like, oh, but Hitler was very pro-animal rights and like dog lover.
I knew what they were going to say. Hitler's nice to his dog.
Yeah, it's like
that's an old trope that people say Hitler was a vegetarian.
It's actually on TV tropes. Hitler loves dogs. You know, it's a trope.
Yeah, Hitler breathed air. Oh,
it's like I'm pretty
we
sure
are all
the rest...
like Hitler. He was drinking water.
I'm pretty sure
Hitler was straight, therefore everyone needs to be gay.
It's stupid.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the rest of the stuff Hitler did cancels out any positive aspects of his personality. I mean,
is it okay to punch Hitler? I say yes. Who was with me?
Yeah, that's the escalation of the punch Nazis thing. Okay, but you're against punching Nazis, but Hitler himself, it's okay to hit him, right? Just standing there.
Find some middle ground. How many Nazis can we punch?
Every single one of them. I have a cane. I am for the knees.
I agree.
I did share the cane foo link with you, right?
I was arguing with a guy in Steve's comment on Facebook. A guy who was like, yeah, but we can talk to them. But he's the white guy who's tall, not disabled, who has nothing to fear from the Nazi. Of course you can talk to him. Talk to him. Knock yourself out.
And then knock him out.
I will knock him out.
I put my cane in his knees and I flee. I'll flee. I walk fast. As I can't run. But, it's easy to say, yeah, violence, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes you don't have a choice. You don't have the luxury of being non-violent. If you fear for your life, you hit. And
non-violence is a privilege.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. If you think you're going to be okay under the Nazi regime, I mean, well, first of all, maybe take another look at that. Maybe how can I make myself more of an enemy to the Nazis so that they won't just leave me alone? That's kind of an idea.
Be a commie. Be a commie.
Yeah. They hated the socialists.
They sure did. Oh, no. Hitler was a socialist because national socialist.
Because he called himself that,
And North Korea is a republic because that's in their name.
Exactly.
A democratic republic.
A democratic republic.
It's not at all a monarchy,
No, of course not. Who would dare suggest such a thing? Oh, man. All right. I'm going to wrap this up. We've had a good time. But we've had so much fun. We've gone like 15 minutes over our usual time, but I'm going to release my patrons back into the wild
to spread the communist message.
Is everyone coming yet?
I'm reading Kropotkin.
Go read the communist propaganda.
Steve, before we go, watch fucking Legion.
I will. I'm sorry. I totally will. I like I told you, on the live stream the other night. I have like a backlog of shit.
I know.
But
you're going to love it, so it's a shame.
I'm sure I will. I know my Jason, my podcast partner, he watched it too, and he recommended it to me as well. So
the second season starts in 2 weeks.
Okay, yeah, it comes highly recommended. So I
can't wait
to catch it. All right.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. That show is.
I think it's
Okay.
on Hulu now, so I can watch. I think I can watch the whole thing.
I'm stopping talking.
That's okay. All right. So thanks everybody for watching. As always, this is something I do every month with patrons of my Patreon campaign. If this looks like fun to you and you want to get in on the fun, you can do so by supporting my channel through Patreon. You can go to www.patreon.com and find out more there. As always, thanks to all of you for being here. Thanks to all of you watching for watching. Thanks for everybody for all the support in whatever form it comes. And we'll see you to do this again next month. Hi, everybody.
Give Steve money! Give Steve money!